Yeah, I'm gonna start today by reacting to Hawk's comment on the BT4 release trailer. Since I'm in no contact with him at the moment, we've only been talking through YouTube. I'm gonna try to do this instead of having a direct conversation with him. And after that, I might play some Apex or whatever, since uh, I'm pretty much disconnected from the entire Raging Blast 2 community at the moment, since I had a major incident with my mental health recently, and yeah, I still need to apologize to a bunch of people for what happened and why it happened, explain why it happened. But I'm gonna do that in private, I guess. So let's just try to get into it. It's gonna go to my YouTube, and then yeah, we will see. All right. I wanted to multi-stream this. I'm gonna reset. Oh no, I'm just gonna cut it and upload. All right. So let's get started. Hmm. Right off the bat, it's showing old footage of BT3, not of the Raging Blast series. I'm kind of concerned that they don't have cancels in this game. As you see in this reveal trailer, it's the old BT3 graphics. And now the new graphics. Get ready for battle. I'm wondering, I made a comment
Yeah,
on
I can do
Hawk's
that too,
video
Koku. Listen. See? I can crack my knuckles like that too.
because I made a comment on his video that I'm also concerned that it won't be good because we don't know what they did yet. And I didn't even watch his video yet, and he liked my reply, and I think that's what he's gonna say in this video. Is that he's gonna be careful with getting hyped. I can predict that he will be very concerned about getting hyped because we've been at this point before. Uh, like our fan base is waiting for this game since 10 more than 10 years now, and each year with the new announcement we're getting tricked into having something new that we can play. Since I was in a clan with him for a long time, I may be gonna rejoin one day if arguments getting cleared between me and Exi, one of my former friends. And yeah, nonetheless, I think he's gonna be really careful about saying positive stuff and getting hyped. Let's see what he's gonna have to say.
So this is really happening. Um, wow.
Yes,
Before I
wow, that's
even
what
get
I
into
thought.
the premise of this video, or like just start this off in general, I just want to say that I found out about this by complete accident. Yesterday, when I came home, I was really tired, so I just wanted to relax on YouTube and watch some stuff, but typically it was one of those Sundays where none of my subscriptions uploaded anything that I was particularly interested in watching, and the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour thing was going on, and I never ever watched Dragon Ball Battle Hours because it's just mainly like Dragon Ball Legends and the Super Card game and stuff. And I don't usually read the chat either, but I entered out of complete boredom, having nothing else to watch, and people were screaming, saying new Tenkaichi game, new Tenkaichi.
Yeah, I actually, yeah, somebody in my YouTube comments from my video where I was crying about that we won't ever get Raging Blast 3 actually wrote me a comment, and that's how I got to know about it. So, Hawk, so you know, uh, I have a really hard time in real life right now, so I couldn't get excited at all. And also the beef with you guys. I mean, you guys that know me, that you know what happened to me recently. I've yeah, pretty much ruined my entire life recently, and I'm trying to get back up on my feet. But that's a topic for another time, I guess. Yeah. So Hawk, so you know, I also tried to resist the hype, and I also didn't even look for it, and I didn't even thought about the new Dragon Ball game release this time because, yeah, we're getting disappointed since Raging Blast 2.
game, new Tenkaichi game. I'm just like, okay, I guess these are just people that are just like, they really want a new Tenkaichi game, but it's not happening.
Yeah, that's what
Curiosity
happens
got
so
the best of
often.
me, and I rewinded. Of course, we got
There were so many fake trailers of a new Tenkaichi, a new Raging Blast. Like every once in a while, somebody would make a fake trailer and upload it to get some discussion going. And yeah, that's what I thought too. That it was just one of these fake trailers.
the trailer here, but it was down. I think it was this one I was watching, right? Yeah, it was this I was watching. I scrolled all the way back, and the narrator guy over there said exclusive videos, and at the end of this trailer, said that it's a completely new game, a new entry in the Budokai Tenkaichi series.
Don't I have to tweet
I
something?
am terrified of what this could possibly be. So,
Yeah,
first of all, I want to point out
as I
this
told you
title
guys,
down here does.
he said he's terrified. Because last time a game had Tenkaichi in his name, what did we get? We did get Ultimate Tenkaichi, which basically was a rock, paper, scissors with a Raging Blast skin on it. So, yeah. He being terrified means that he's being scared of getting hyped and then getting hurt and disappointed because for us, these Dragon Ball games were our lives. I mean, for a long period of time, and it's like losing a loved one, like trying to get hyped about this and then realizing it's not what it is. That's why he's so careful. I predicted that. So he said he's terrified, and that's what I thought. Funny.
Not mean anything.
Yes.
We have no idea what this is. Look. There's this label here. Whoops.
The studio
I did not
also, it
mean to do
isn't
that.
Spike Chunsoft. This is something I realized
Okay.
at the end. It
Just
isn't.
ignore that.
Yeah,
Hopefully
Toy
nobody
Animation and
doesn't say
Bandai
anything
Namco.
downstairs since he's got the TV going.
So we
There
don't
is
even have the
nothing
studio.
here
We don't even have the
that
studio.
indicates this is Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4. We don't know what this is. I have watched this trailer at least 50 times by now. Last night was a super wild night. And when I watched it the first time from this stream down here, I was dead. Like, I didn't feel anything. I was just like, okay, so this is supposedly actually happening, finally. And I watched it again, and again, and again. And you know, there's some cool Easter eggs here. Like, let me play it for a second. So we can see Goku mid going Super Saiyan here, then it transitions to this. Now, I really like the look of this so far, just so you guys know. I'm on board so far with what they're doing. There's a lot to talk about here, but let's just keep playing this for a second. So we've got some Super Saiyan God references, Battle of Gods references, and Dragon Ball Super Broly references here. And I think some general Dragon Ball Super references as well. I think there's some scene in here. I think it's when he cracks his knuckles, right? Yeah, this part. I think this is a reference to when Goku was cracking his knuckles when they were doing like the preview of the exhibition match for the World Tournament. I could be totally wrong about that. I vaguely remember that only because I actually really enjoyed that part of Dragon Ball Super. But I don't know what to feel about this. Like, okay, so while I have this up, I just want to say that if that transformation was an in-game transformation, it's awesome. Like, it's really cool. If this is in-game Planet Namek, I don't know about you guys, but I cannot visualize this
This
character
would be
model
crazy. Yeah.
interacting
Yeah.
with this environment.
This would be
Like,
crazy.
it looks
He's right.
really cool. It looks really smooth. It's stunning, honestly. But I can't picture how any of this would look. So the first thing I want to talk about is what is this game? Is this a direct sequel to Tenkaichi 3? Is it a remaster?
I mean,
It
just compared, if you go to my channel and take a Namek video here, you see that the grass right here. It's just some green color on the ground, and here you have every fucking straw. Yeah, it's
is
crazy.
it a remake? And before you guys start, screaming in the comments saying a remake and a remaster are the same thing, no, they are not the same thing. A remake is a game that has been rebuilt from the ground up with better graphics and whatnot. And at the end of everything, they've added additional features to the game. That is what a remake is. A remaster would be Tenkaichi 3 literally just being remastered with HD graphics, like how the Budokai HD collection was done. For those of you who play Pokemon, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, those were remasters. They were not remakes. There was no additional content in those games. This game is 100% a remake. And we can only tell that for one reason, because we're staring at it right here. Super Saiyan Blue Goku was never part of Tenkaichi 3 to begin with. There are obvious, clear signs here of Super Saiyan God and all the other stuff that we love about Dragon Ball. But, is this a direct sequel to Tenkaichi 3?
No,
Is it
no,
a
it isn't.
remake of Tenkaichi
No,
3? Because this entire trailer
it's not.
was showing only Tenkaichi 3 gameplay. And that
It's
was
they
great
they did that because it's the
because
most
I watched a couple of
popular
other reactions
Tenkaichi
and people
Raging
were
Blast
just
type
like,
game.
"Oh, maybe we're getting
Sold the
an
best.
HD collection or something." I'm like, in what universe does this look like an HD remake? If this were an HD remake, where's Tenkaichi 1? Where's Tenkaichi 2? Now, considering how Budokai HD collection went, if we did get a Tenkaichi HD collection, I can totally picture us not getting Tenkaichi 2, and I would have been so livid because I've been actually trying to get into Tenkaichi 2, because first of all, it was technically my first Dragon Ball game, and
Same.
I only started learning it.
Yeah, Tenkaichi 2 was also my first game that I played a lot from the series. I never played Tenkaichi 1 until I was at my step cousin's house years later after I was into RB2 already. And it was crazy how bad Tenkaichi 1 was compared to Tenkaichi 2.
Several years ago, and then I started getting back into it again just recently, like learning it on the advanced level. This transition just seriously, I've watched this over 50 times and I'm terrified. So I've got a
Terrified.
list of things here that I want to talk about. I've already discussed the second one, which is it a remake or a remaster? I've pointed out what the differences
It's
are
not, that's clear.
between a remake and
To
a
me,
remaster. Again,
it has to be a new
if
type of
this
game.
is a remake of Tenkaichi 3 with additional features and whatnot, that's cool. If this does turn out to be Budokai Tenkaichi 4 or even another entry in the Tenkaichi series, we have even more to talk about. But
Yeah, if it's a
I will
Raging Blast
save that
3,
for the next trailer
Yeah,
whenever that happens. I'm not going to
yeah.
talk about that here because that's a whole ass other story for a whole ass other video.
And for a whole ass other
Project
people.
Remaster, for the moment, done. I'm not going to talk about anything else until in that field until we get another trailer. First question I had on this list was what I wanted to talk about first. Who's developing this game?
Yes,
Spike?
this exactly, Hawk, is the question I was asking because Spike doesn't exist anymore, as I pointed out in one of my earlier videos. So you guys know that Spike doesn't exist the way it did like a few years ago. It split up into Spike Chunsoft and has been overtaken. And at the end of the trailer, as you guys could see, there was no studio. There was the Bandai Namco logo and the Toei Entertainment logo, but the studio is completely completely invisible, so we don't know yet if it's another RB2 or another Tenkaichi type of game from the core, because yeah, they could also just utilize the name for marketing purposes, like they did with Ultimate Tenkaichi, and then just give us a completely new game, which is completely different, which might suck, which don't have the main mechanics of cancels and other stuff that made Raging Blast 2 so great, for example. But let's hear what he has to say. He's talking for half an hour. It's gonna be a long video.
Merged with a studio called Chunsoft Studios
Yeah,
quite a while ago. I don't
that's what I
remember
said in my
when
video.
exactly they did it. It must have been sometime around before, during, or after what's it called again? Jump Force had come out because Spike worked on that game, didn't they? Oh, God, do I really want to
Spike
look it up
worked
right
on the
now?
One Piece games, but they sucked.
I don't know what that is, but I'm glad I didn't click on it. Jump Force. Flex Runner Cheerleader Rush mobile game. That's cool if that's what it's supposed to be called. Blah blah blah. See, Spike Chunsoft. So if they did, since they worked on Jump Force, it's very high possibility that they're coming back to do this game, whatever it might be. But it's not um, it's not unreasonable or out of the ordinary for developers to outsource development for a direct sequel or a remake or something to another developer. There have been quite a few cases, but the only one that comes to mind because I actually have already played the game, obviously, is Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Those games were outsourced to a developer named ILCA, I believe. I can't be bothered to look them up, but I'm pretty sure it's ILCA. And it wasn't, if I recall correctly, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl were not done by Game Freak. They were done by ILCA, and honestly, they did a really good job. Back to this game, if Spike Chunsoft is working on it, then they have a hell of a lot of work to do ahead of them because from the
Oh
time
yeah.
that Tenkaichi 3 came out and the amount of exploits that have been shown in the game, this game is being held at such a high standard today that in order to meet the expectations of everybody, I genuinely hope this game is not coming out this year. This is a teaser trailer. We are in March right now. There is no shot this game is coming out holiday 2023. I sincerely hope that even if it is, that it definitely gets delayed and does not come out until sometime around 2024, like early 2024.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I think this is not what's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen like with a lot of new games that they're gonna give us a raw version of it with a limited amount of characters, and then time by time release new ones, and you can earn them or buy them, and they will release a bunch of skins. I think they will give us the LOL, the League of Legends treatment, and the Apex treatment. They will maybe make it free to play or make it pay to play, and like in Xenoverse, release characters over time and fix the bugs with updates. He's still somehow stuck in the disc mindset that the game has to be finished when it's released, but games nowadays don't work like this anymore, so he will be disappointed, I think.
Spring 2024, summer, which would be completely irregular for them to do, but I would totally be down for that. If Spike is developing this, there's a lot to question. Let's move on to the next one. I wasn't gonna bring this one up, but I did jot it down in my sticky, so I'll talk about it. Will this be the final entry, or will it be updated? We are living in a day and age now where
Of
video
course, it will be
games,
updated.
when they come
Don't
out,
even have to
are
talk about this,
very
Hawk.
subjected to update patches and DLC and such else. So if this turns out to be a new entry, is it the final entry, or are we going to get more games? If it's the final entry, will it constantly be updated with
My guess is yes, Hawk. It is the final entry and it will be constantly be upgraded and it would be amazing for us. But don't get hyped. Be careful.
regular patches and DLC content and whatnot? Is that the road that they're going to go? Because I recall initially when Ubisoft announced their next Assassin's Creed project, they were planning to make it some kind of like game where it would constantly be updated and they wouldn't be making any more Assassin's Creeds after that. So if they were to take that kind of route with this game, I would totally understand that and I would actually be all for that. You know why? Because we have been playing Tenkaichi 3 for such a long time. Like,
You have been playing Tenkaichi 3 for a long time. We have been playing Raging Blast 2 for a long time. I mean, you also played Raging Blast 2. Why don't you mention Raging Blast at all? It hurts my soul.
I've wanted a new game for such a long time and I gave up on it years ago. If they make
Yeah.
it now, what kind of formula are they going to use? That's why I'm absolutely terrified of this.
Yeah, I am
See,
also asking this question. Will it be an advancement of the RB2 system or will it build up on Tenkaichi 3? Because it would be two different games.
Tenkaichi 3 was never a perfect game, but I'm sure many of us can agree that it was the perfect game for us, for anyone who was into a fast-paced arena fighter who really wanted to feel like they were wielding a Dragon Ball character. Raging Blast 1 and Raging Blast 2 did that to a degree, but neither of them have the fast paced action that Tenkaichi 3 does. Then we have Dragon Ball Xenoverse, we have Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z, which I never bought. I played the demo, I didn't care much for the game. I personally don't know how good or bad it did in terms of sales. From what I heard from my friends, it was actually a pretty decent game. And the rest of the games just like, oh, God. I'm so terrified of this, I don't know what to expect. Tenkaichi 3 was the kind of game where it didn't need. It didn't necessarily need a sequel in terms of what the game at its core had to offer. It would probably just need a sequel in terms of how well it did in sales. Tenkaichi 3, how do I put this? It's a game where it would only need small tweaks and improvements in order to become a perfect Dragon Ball game for anyone who was into arena fighting with lower end graphics. It didn't need anything drastic. Like, it didn't need any super drastic improvements anywhere. So, man, like, are they going to stick with the formula for this game? Like, what's going to change from Tenkaichi 3 to this game? If this is a remake, what are they going to retain? Will the Raging Blast series influence this at all? Will whatever they did in Jump Force influence this title at all? What is this game going to end up turning out to be? Is it going to be Tenkaichi 4? Is it going to be Tenkaichi 3 remade? Is it going to be a genuine new entry? But anyway, let's see. What else did I put down here?
I
Will
want a
mechanics
genuine new
change?
entry.
That, honestly, I don't know if there is anything that they could possibly change in Tenkaichi 3 to make it a better game. The only things that they could, like, bring back, maybe, are attack cancels, which Tenkaichi 1 and Tenkaichi 2 had to begin with. Even in Tenkaichi 2, they taught you, apparently, how to cancel your attacks. And then, of course, Raging Blast entered the fray, and Raging Blast is all about cancels.
Yeah, I
So
want cancelled
Tenkaichi
so
kind of
bad.
just got overshadowed by it, which was fine. Tenkaichi was never about cancels to begin with, so it didn't really matter. But will if the mechanics change, like can't they just bring back blocking left and right? Will they bring back vanishing counterattacks? Will they bring back some dashing mechanics? Will they make key blasts a bit more looser than they were before? What is being retained in this game in terms of like, are they going to be bringing back blast stocks? Because that was definitely a Budokai Tenkaichi thing. It was removed in Raging Blast, and they implemented. Well, actually, no, I can't bring Xenoverse into this conversation now because this is all Spike, presumably because it's a Budokai Tenkaichi title. Xenoverse is dimps, so I should leave them out of this conversation. Blast stocks, super attacks, like we saw Super Saiyan Blue Goku here, so it's more than safe to assume that we should be getting customizable super attacks, definitely bigger stages. Who knows if
Oh yeah, bigger stages. Yeah, we also need a bigger fucking training arena. Fucking hitting the wall all 2 seconds. What a nice concept would be if that like in some 2D fighters, if you smash somebody out of the arena, it will just go to the next. Like if you would have like an overwhelmingly big stage that is just connected and you don't have walls anymore, that would be crazy. Like imagine starting a fight at Cell Games and ending up in the city or whatever. That would be a cool concept.
this game is going to have create a character mode, there is so much to be scared of when thinking about this game. It's real now. This is a new Budokai Tenkaichi game. The guy that announced it during Dragon Ball Battle Hour yesterday even said that it's a new entry. We still don't know if it's Tenkaichi 4, if it's Tenkaichi 3 remade.
It will be another name hawk. It won't be Raging Blast, but it will be the successor to Raging Blast 2, in fact. They took the name Budokai Tenkaichi because it sold way better than Raging Blast 2 did, and therefore it's just more popular in the entire generation. And that's how they try to get more people's attention. I think we're getting something with a new name, maybe Tenkaichi Sparking or call it whatever. Maybe even Raging Blast 3. It would be a surprise, but I think they will call it. It will have a new name. It is just it will be a Tenkaichi type game, Tenkaichi, and I think it will be influenced by Raging Blast 2. I really hope so because I love the cancel sound and the little light it makes. I'm gonna grab something to drink. I'll be right back with reaction.
Stages of
Okay.
development, so I'm not going to make a breakdown video or anything. I didn't think this was worth doing. There are some clear references to Dragon Ball Battle of Gods. There's Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Super Broly. You can see that from eyeing Super Saiyan Blue Goku here, but the fact that this is happening, I'm so scared. I wanted this game for so long, and the more I
Yeah.
played Tenkaichi 3, the more I learned about it, even from the competitive side of the community. It's just, the game didn't need any kind of super improvements. It just needed some tweaks and whatnot. If we ever got a sequel to it, it would just add, like, um, Dragon Ball Super characters, manga characters like Moro, and the angel that was with him. I didn't really keep up with that arc. Sorry, Granola. Now Black Frieza is currently on the precipice. This game is so scary to think about right now. What could they possibly be thinking of?
It's so scary because we are so used to being disappointed. We're just scared of getting hurt again. Just like being abandoned, getting ghosted by a company, not just by one person, but by an entire group of people.
Putting into it, what could they possibly be thinking of
You
putting?
have to take in consideration that this guy, even more than I did, developed such a skill on all of these games. Like I think he's one of the best Tenkaichi 3 players as well. I only got really good at Raging Blast 2. I got to pro level also thanks to him, and but I also been playing this series since Tenkaichi 2, and um, it took so long, like because we still been playing. I mean, I still been playing Raging Blast 2 up until recently. The last time I uploaded was like 4 months ago, or 2 or 3 months. I don't remember. Yeah, no, 4 months. Yeah, so it's been already half a year. I played my favorite game almost. So we really, really, really need a new entry because it's getting so dead. The community just found together with the mods. Something happened, so you really saw that people still want to play this game, and you saw it in reflection of Raging Blast 2. People were creating mods, new people were coming back, there were new servers. Just before I got into an argument due to my mental illness with everyone, I yeah, I kind of regret a lot to having lost the connection to the community, and I hope I can regain it soon because we will be on this game for sure, and we will also be there for people that want to learn the game. I think Hawk and also I'm gonna do pretty early tutorials on how to play, and yeah, um, we're really looking forward to this game because we pretty much spent a lifetime developing, and we just love this series. And what if they fuck it up? And that scares the hell out of all of us, I think.
Moving from it, what could they possibly thinking of putting it into motion? Like, will it have crossplay? Will it have proper game lobbies and everything? Like, this is so stupid scary for me, guys. I really don't know. I'm sorry, I'm just sounding like a broken record, but you have no idea how terrifying this concept is, knowing that it's real now, knowing that this is actually a thing. And the most hilarious part is that everyone's calling it Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 4 or Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4. Like, everyone thinks that it's Tenkaichi 4. I'm just like,
Yeah,
no.
but it isn't, and we know it won't be. And that's an insider among pros of this series. We know it won't be the same, Hawk. But maybe it will be something we can play and we can find back together and have a good future maybe on it. Just try and stay positive, but don't get hyped. That's my advice.
No, it's not that simple. It can't be that simple. Since it's in early stages right now, it's safe to assume that this Goku model we're about to see, the new one right after this transformation, is definitely not their final product. They probably will sharpen this somehow. Personally, I like
I don't like the aura too much. It just looks too much like the God Key. I don't know if they change it if they go regular Super Saiyan or not, but we'll see about that.
how it looks. I think this looks really, really good. I was on the bandwagon that actually liked Raging Blast One's graphics a lot. Were there any other Dragon Ball games that graphics I actually really liked? I didn't care for Xenoverses. Battle of Z's looked just. I was not a fan of it. I won't say it's bad. I just wasn't a fan of it. Dragon Ball Fighters. Well, that's ArcSys, so that's only for fighting games. Dragon Ball The Breakers. I actually liked its graphics a lot, but mostly the CGI parts of it, not the actual game models. So, Burst Limit was another game that the graphics I really liked, but this Goku, this graphics here, these are nice. I like this. I like this a lot. This transformation into Super Saiyan Blue. Personally, I don't think it's in game. Like, since it's in really early stages, I feel somehow this is part of an opening cinematic. But if this is
Even
in
if it's
game,
in
then it's
game, you
subject
we
to
both
change
know that
or a lot.
transformations
We don't really
are not
know.
do not matter
It's
that
really
much
cool
to
though.
us.
And as for why we're on Namek, I have absolutely no clue. But Namek looks good. Goku looks phenomenal, looks absolutely sexy. I still can't envision how this character model is going to interact with this environment, but
It would be interesting to check if this exact rock is in RB2 as well.
what I thought was actually going to be a very long video here, probably I don't know how long I've been recording this, but I'll only see once I stop the video. This is going to be the raw footage, by the way. I have no intention of editing this at all. What is this game going to be? Honestly, what is it going to be? Is it going to be Tenkaichi 4 final entry? Is it going to be receiving a bunch of updates? Can we see more arena fighters with this? Part of me feels like Bandai is doing this because I remember quite a few years ago, and I mean like within the last decade, Rhyme Style had uploaded a video of an interview with the devs, and I don't know if it was him personally with the devs or someone else, and whoever was in the video, they asked the devs about, oh, I think it was actually Trivax who was at.
Yes, it was Trirex. He was at Japan Expo and they took some of his artworks and his influences for Xenoverse. Game Guy, hey Game Guy, how are you doing? Someone tried to compare Goku SSD transformation to that blue one. Yeah, I tried, yeah.
Asking, I can't really recall, but they brought up the fact that Sparking Omega had brought such a storm to the internet. People were so excited, and the devs themselves said that we would love to have Tenkaichi 3. I swear to God, I think specifically they said Tenkaichi 3 and not just Tenkaichi. That they would love to have it on next gen, and a next gen at that time was PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Even the Nintendo Switch wasn't even out at that time. It wasn't even announced, actually, I don't think, unless it was under Project NX. But they said at that time that they really wanted it on next gen, they just didn't know when. And you guys know, for those of you who are in my Discord server, I have been saying for like the last 2 years probably since just before Dragon Ball: The Breakers was announced, that we are in such a position with Bandai and Dragon Ball games that literally anything could happen right now. Because we got Dragon Ball Xenoverse, which is basically a Dragon Ball MMO. We got Dragon Ball Fighters, which is our first official Dragon Ball 2D fighting game. I don't really think Dragon Ball Final Bout and the other ones could really be considered that, but if they are, you guys can correct me, because I'm pretty sure no one was able to take those games seriously, at least at that time. And then we got Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which is... I'll just let this play. A JRPG, basically an RPG game. So we've gotten every single game now under the sun in terms of Dragon Ball. The only things we haven't gotten are like, I don't know if a Dragon Ball puzzle fighter actually exists. We definitely have not gotten a Dragon
We also got a card game, basically. We got Dokkan Battle. We got, yeah, we got everything. He's right.
Ball Z racing game. Personally, I would have liked a racing game. As crazy as that sounds, I totally would have been.
Yeah, glad to see you back. Thank you, Game Guy. Yeah, it has been a rough time for me the last few months. I really had some shit going on in my life, but don't worry about that now.
Down for a racing game. That would have been hilariously, comically chaotic. I definitely would have been down for that. So, telling all of my friends that I've been saying this for the longest time, that we are in such a position, anything could happen now. We don't know if it's going to be a new Budokai Tenkaichi. I swear I said that once or twice. We don't know if it's going to be a new Budokai Tenkaichi game. It could be a Raging Blast port. It could be something completely different. So for them to do this, I'm terrified. I don't know what to expect. I really hope it turns out to be what we want, but because it's a trailer and because it's a teaser trailer and we don't have much to work with here, and we don't know the exact title of this game. Like, they didn't even say what it was supposed to be called. They just said it's a new Budokai Tenkaichi, but there's still a lot more to question there. I guess we'll find out when the time comes, but I guess for the moment, that's really all I have to discuss because I don't want to have to put up some Tenkaichi 3 gameplay here and discuss what my thoughts on it are in terms of the gameplay mechanics,
It will take
what they could possibly
forever.
change, what they could possibly add. Oh, that's one other thing I wanted to mention here is that because this is a game coming out nowadays, the chances of Bandai listening to the community to make patches and changes and stuff for various things in the game whenever it comes out, whatever needs to be said, they will probably more than likely listen to us and actually implement those patches.
I really hope they will listen to us. And I hope they won't listen to the guy that can't play that has a million views, you know? Like the bad IGN review back in the day. They really should listen to the pro level players. Uh, I think this will be a huge problem because we are not that known, you know. We exist, but we are pretty underground.
So in a way, this game happening now is a blessing in disguise. But for those of us like myself who know how the game, know how Tenkaichi 3 works and play it on a really advanced level, we have more reason to be scared than to be happy. Like, don't get me wrong, I am happy, but I don't want them to destroy what Tenkaichi 3 has been to all of us all these years. Tenkaichi 3 is such a great game that for them to make a new game now, it's going to take a lot of work for them to make it happen, honestly. Uh, to end this video off really quick, though, if you're curious about what I've been doing, I mean, if you were here just for this game, then you can navigate off the video if you don't really care what I have to say next. But a little life update. My dad and I have bought a house, and we have just 90% finished moving. We've been living in the new house as of the end of January. Previously, we were living in a rental townhouse in a
Yeah,
complex,
I'm
and it's
gonna
slated.
watch this later because I know Hawk personally and we've been talking a lot and in the past, yeah. So game guy, which is why I said someone like Maximilian Food tries it and sees pro level gameplay, dude. Yeah, that's gonna be one of the concern we have is that they're not gonna listen to the pros because we're not that popular. Um, I'm gonna make this a video and upload it to YouTube, and now I'm probably just gonna play some Apex.